It all began with a sound so faint I almost missed it. Most nights in Harmony Creek were quiet, the kind of quiet that feels heavy like a blanket. But this night was different. I was sitting in my living room, the book in my lap forgotten. The house was dark, except for a single lamp. Outside, the world was a black canvas. Then I heard it, a low hum. It wasn't a car, it wasn't an appliance, it was something else. Something that seemed to come from the earth itself. It vibrated through the floorboards, a soft, persistent thrum. It made the hairs on my arms stand up. I walked to the window, peering out into the darkness. My breath fogged the cold glass. The street was empty. The houses were dark shapes against a moonless sky. Nothing moved. Still, the humming continued. A note that hung in the air, a single, unwavering tone. It felt ancient and wrong. I tried to place it. Power lines, a distant generator. Too close for that. It felt like it was right outside, just beyond the thin walls. The sound wasn't loud, but it was insistent. A promise of something coming. A disturbance in the perfect, boring peace of my small town. My dog, Buster, usually asleep like a log, was awake. He stood by the back door, ears perked. A low, guttural growl, a sound I'd never heard. He wasn't barking. He was warning. The humming agitated him. He paced in a tight circle. I tried to calm him. My heart began to pound in rhythm with the low frequency. The world outside felt charged with strange energy. The hum lasted what felt like an hour. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The silence that returned was more terrifying, a void where the vibration had been. I stood frozen, listening to my own frantic heartbeat. Buster whined, pressed his head to my leg. The night was still, a different kind of stillness, something holding its breath, waiting. I knew this was not the end. It was the beginning. The night had whispered a secret. I feared I was the only one who heard it. Harmony Creek was the kind of town people moved to for peace. It was a postcard picture of American life, white picket fences, perfectly manicured lawns, a single main street with a bakery, a hardware store, and a small town hall. I moved here a year ago, seeking refuge from the noise and chaos of the city. I wanted simplicity. I wanted a place where everyone knew their neighbors, where children could play in the streets until dusk. The town was nestled in a valley, surrounded by dense woods and rolling hills. But after that night, the silence started to feel different. It was no longer peaceful. It felt watchful. The town that once seemed charming now felt unnervous and strange. The tidy houses seemed to hide secrets behind their drawn curtains. Friendly waves felt forced. The square emptied before sunset. No one wandered into the bordering woods. An unspoken rule. The town's perfection looked like a performance. On morning walks with Buster, the streets were strangely deserted. Just me, my footsteps, and rustling leaves a block away. The air was heavy with tension. In the grocery store, faces nodded, eyes darting away. It was as if a collective secret was being kept. The creepiness was in the small details. A child's tricycle abandoned for days, the same black car each night, wind chimes ringing without a breeze. Each tear in the fabric of normalcy, another dark brushstroke. Harmony Creek was no longer a sanctuary. It had become quiet, creeping dread where silence screamed. The peace I sought was a mask, and I was beginning to see the terrifying face underneath. My name is Clara. I'm a writer. I work from home, chose Harmony Creek for solitude. To finish my novel, I like routine. The whispers started at the local library. Mrs. Gable, stern librarian, town gossip, went quiet. Some things are best left alone, she whispered. Mr. Henderson, my neighbor, paled when I asked about the humming. You heard it too? He asked, then locked himself inside. Next morning, a for sale sign. The isolation was worst. Cracks in the facade, and everyone agreed not to speak. It made me question my sanity. Then the figures. At the field beyond my house, shadows became clearer. Hooded robes, dozens, silent, gliding. They formed a perfect circle. Through shaking hands and lenses, each held a flickering candle. In the center, an effigy of sticks and straw, human-shaped. Heads bowed as if in prayer. I started locking doors and windows, drawing curtains at dusk. I felt like a prisoner. Buster growled low at the silent congregation. They kept to their field, but their presence was a constant wrongness. A cult, hiding in plain sight. The knock came 2 weeks later, just past midnight. A sharp, loud sound. Not friendly. A demanding rap at my door. Through the peephole, 2 hooded figures in the same dark robes, faces hidden, motionless, waiting. My heart leaped. Buster went wild. I reached for my phone, then froze. Who could I call? Could I trust the local police? What if they were part of it? Their patience was more terrifying than the knocking, the patience of a predator. After what seemed like an hour, I looked again. They were gone. No sign they'd ever been there. But they'd left something behind, a message, a warning. The next morning, wrecked from no sleep, I opened the door and saw it. Scratched into the paint, a circle with a vertical line, crude, jagged. It was a mark. My house had been marked. Ancient, malevolent, a brand, a claim. It said, "We know who you are, we know where you live, we are watching you." The reality hit like suffocation. I wanted to run, pack a bag, grab Buster, drive, and never look back. I searched frantically, circle with line, ancient symbols, cult markings. Nothing. It was a language of fear that existed only here. My desperation grew. I went back to the library. I slid the symbol across the counter. Color drained from Mrs. Gable's face. She led me to a locked archive.
"They call themselves the Children of the Silent Harmony," she said. "They've been here for generations. They believe the town is a thin place where the veil is weak."
The symbol is their mark of selection. They chose people unburdened by the outside world. People who were quiet, solitary. People like me. They believe in a ritual, purification. They choose someone to become a vessel, to carry the silence, to join them. They don't take no for an answer. A decade ago, a tourist tried to flee. They found him on the edge of town, car out of gas. He was empty, just a shell. I wasn't just being watched. I was being chosen. Mrs. Gable's story was a death sentence. That night, I packed one bag, my laptop, some clothes, all the cash I had. I put Buster in the car. I didn't dare turn on lights. Every creak made me jump. I kept expecting a knock. My plan was simple. Drive. Drive all night. Don't stop until Harmony Creek was a memory. I slipped out the back, refusing a last look at the symbol. The air was cold, the moon hidden, almost total darkness. As I fumbled for keys, I froze. The hum, back, louder, more intense. It vibrated through me. My teeth ached. It came from all around, a chorus of unseen voices humming one note. Buster whimpered. The engine roared to life. I slammed into reverse and flew. Houses, dark and silent, witnessed me. The humming grew louder, as if to hold me back. I pressed the gas. My knuckles turned white. The town sign flashed in my headlights, then open road. The hum faded behind me. I drove for hours. The sky softened, pink and orange. I was hundreds of miles away. Safe, I thought. I didn't know then you can't escape something that's already inside you. It's been a year since I fled Harmony Creek. I live in a bustling city now, surrounded by the constant noise of traffic, sirens, and people. I chose it for the noise, for anonymity. There are no quiet fields here, no silent, watchful nights. I never told anyone what happened. Who would believe me? They would say I imagined it. Sometimes I try to agree, a writer's stress and isolation. But I remember Mrs. Gable's eyes and the mark on my door. I searched for anything and found nothing. Harmony Creek is a black hole on the map. I often wonder what happened after I left. Did they choose someone else? Did another unsuspecting loner move in, drawn by peace and quiet? Sometimes, when the city finally quiets, I think I can hear it. A faint, low hum at the edge of hearing. I try to move on. I finished my book. I adopted another dog to keep Buster company. I'm trying to build a new life, to forget the congregation of shadows and the silent harmony. But the fear never left. It's a cold spot in my soul, a constant reminder. The secret of that cult is a weight I carry. Darkness can hide behind perfect normalcy. It's the realization you can be chosen, marked, hunted, and the world will never even know. The true horror isn't the cult, it's the silence around it. But the real twist, the secret that will haunt you as it has haunted me, is not about the town or the cult. It's about the reflection. This morning, brushing my teeth, staring blankly into the mirror, I noticed it. It was in my eyes. A deep, unsettling stillness. A quiet I hadn't seen before. And as I stared, horrified at my own reflection, I started to hum. A low, soft, persistent note. A single, unwavering tone. I had escaped Harmony Creek, but its silence, its harmony, it had followed me. It was inside me. I was the vessel. I had brought the silence with me.